Okay, we're starting now. And I want to say good afternoon and welcome to Trident Literacy Founders Award Luncheon. We have a lot of people to recognize that made this event possible. So we're going to start with our presenting sponsor. Please stand and let us thank you properly. Presenting sponsor is the Post and Courier. Our luncheon sponsor is Duval Catering and Events. Our award sponsor is Metro Electric Company, Incorporated. And our hospitality sponsor is Bandersnatch Group, Incorporated. I also want to recognize our table sponsors. Please hold your applause until all are named. The table sponsors are C&A Unlimited, Incorporated, Harry and Brenda Carter, Charleston Southern University, City of North Charleston, Dr. David Garr, Merv Gibson, Paul and Jen Gibson, Hefka Family, Hendrick Automotive, La Mexicana, Jan Pearlstein-Lipoff and Susan Pearlstein-Norton, Sanders Brothers Construction, South Carolina Federal Credit Union, South State Bank, Trident Medical Center, and Universal Latin News. Let's applaud all of those sponsors. We also ask our corporate sponsors to stand, and again, hold the applause until I've completed reading the sponsors. Charleston ENT and Allergy, Dermatology and Laser Center of Charleston, Joy Law Firm, Linda Kettner, Steinberg Law Firm, and Women's Rights and Empowerment Network, WREN. Let's give those people a hand. Thank all of you for your support. Trident Literacy Board members, we want to also thank you for your dedication and hard work for today and always. Please stand and be duly recognized. And again, hold your applause until all are named. So I'm Merv Gibson, the chair. Bill Hyde is the secretary. Other board members are Jen Gibson, Michael Jordan, Marcella Rabins, and Joanne Sherman. Y'all stand and be recognized. And we have a huge thank you for Trident Literacy's staff who are with us today. So will each of you stand and be recognized? Again, hold your applause. Lucille Hefka is a college and career navigator. Nell Stone is an ESL instructor and father-to-father manager. Tawana Johnson is the JAG specialist. Tiffany Isaac, social media. Jennifer Moxley, detention center program manager. Rachel Knight, director of philanthropy. Stella Necker, program director. And Eileen Chepnick, executive director. Give these people a hand. They work really hard every day. Trident Literacy was born on a stormy night at the North Charleston Dorchester Motor Lodge. The Pickens Sentinel editor, a passionate voice for South Carolina JC's adult literacy campaign, was the attending physician. The literacy baby was a fistful of 3x5 cards with names of potential nursemaids. Pat Gibson took the cards home in a shoebox bassinet. Today, we help 750 people each year improve adult literacy skills, obtain work skills certificates, learn English as a second language, and help their children with reading skills. Let's give a special shout out to Trident Literacy's founder, Pat Gibson. And now it's my pleasure to introduce P.J. Browning, publisher of the Post and Courier, our presenting sponsor.
Hold the mic close. Okay, I'll try. Thank you. It's always a pleasure for us to be a sponsor of this event. For obvious reasons, the Post and Courier has a large stake in the fight against illiteracy. As the Low Country's leader in print and digital journalism, we stand on our reporting. But if we are in a community that can't read, then obviously what we publish is going to people that just won't see that and be able to benefit from it. So with that, this organization and the work that you guys do, we're so very, very proud of you and certainly proud to be a sponsor. Within the Tri-County, more than 60,000 adults do not have a high school education. 15,000 have a 9th grade education or lower. And that's simply not good enough. We can do a better job, and it's a fight that we're willing to fight, and we do appreciate everything that this organization is doing to fight. But we're all here today, and we're here for a reason. We're here to help improve those numbers and join in making a better community for all. On October 3rd of last year, the newspaper published an article, and it was good news. Our area is going to see 35,000 new jobs. So while that's great news, we're very excited about it, we also know that we have to have a workforce that we can train to take those jobs. So I would tell you that Trident Literacy has been doing that work since 1972. They're giving people hope, and they're giving people a better life through being able to read and write. I would like for you guys to join me today in thanking the organization for 47 years of improving lives in the Low Country. Again, very proud of the work that you've done. And the Post and Courier team would like to congratulate you, and I think everybody would like to congratulate you today on the work that you do on behalf of the Low Country. So thank you.
I don't know if you know, but the Post and Courier gave us a grant at the very beginning that allowed us to hire an executive director. And so that was really, we made a big jump there in being able to provide the services we do. Now I want to welcome James Fox, head of the culinary operations of Duval Catering, who will tell you about today's lunch.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're enjoying your salads. I had hoped to be able to tell you about it before you all dug into them, but that's okay. We'll still go over it. So if you don't remember, my name is James Fox. I am the Culinary Operations Director for Duval Catering. I've been an executive chef in the catering industry for over 20 years, and I'm really excited to bring my knowledge and passion to Duval Catering and to the Charleston area, and really strive to be one of the best caterers that you might ever come in contact with. We're grateful for the opportunity to serve you lunch today. Duval has always loved partnering with the Trident Literacy Association team to put together this event. Duval has been catering to the Charleston area for 41 years, so almost just as long as y'all been working on literacy in this area. Over the years, we've catered every event you can imagine: wine dinners, weddings, corporate functions, fundraising galas, large corporate functions reaching into thousands of guests. We can do it all. Our culinary team specializes in scratch-made restaurant quality food. We really strive to bring that kind of experience to a catered event. We feel like Charleston's a food-centric city, and we want to make sure we're living up to that. We have an amazing front-of-the-house team that is so knowledgeable, customized menus. We can do floral, decor, bar, any aspect of an event you can imagine. We are truly a service caterer that puts emphasis on service. So please feel free to reach out to us if we can help you in any way. So our lunch that's prepared for you today, as you all are already digging in, our grilled romaine salad. It had crushed hazelnuts, pickled red onions, blistered cherry tomatoes, and that was a goat cheese creamy dressing on top. Really a nice blend of flavors. It's not your typical salad. You get a little bit of sourness in the onions and a little crunch with the nuts. So I really hope you all enjoy that. Our entree you'll be receiving today is a citrus herb roasted chicken breast. We also whipped a little bit of goat cheese into our Yukon Gold mashed potatoes. I think you'll really enjoy that. We have a local succotash, and that's all going to be topped off with a jus that's going to really round out that dish. So I hope you all enjoy it, and thank you for allowing us to be a sponsor of this great event. Thank you.
Well, without further ado, it is my great pleasure to introduce our mistress of ceremonies, an outstanding woman who is known by everyone in Charleston and everywhere else, the incomparable Carolyn Murray.
Thank you so much, Merv. I think I turned my microphone on. Can you hear me okay? I have a little bit of a cold, so, okay, let's see. Is that a little bit better? Can you hear me okay? No? I might have to use your mic after all.
If that one is off, this one
Okay,
works.
let's see.
I turned this one off, so.
In my business, we call this technical difficulties.
But
Let's
try
see.
right now and see if it works.
Okay, now it's off, and I may have to use that. Let's try that.
Try up close.
Is that better? Okay. First of all, let me apologize. I woke up a little bit under the weather. Actually, this has kind of been nagging at me most of the week, so I'll have to use my best Barry White voice for you this morning. But we will not ask them to turn down the lights at all. We'll keep the lights on. What a pleasure it is to be here with you this afternoon and to enjoy this wonderful lunch. And I must tell you, we all know the talent, the strength, the wit of Eileen Chepnick. And do we all know Eileen? You should have seen her just moments before. She wanted me to be coordinated, and so she ripped a tablecloth off and put this dress together. I mean, did you not? I mean, that is what I will call real, true skill. I am so happy to be here with all of you today to honor 6 accomplished, amazing, witty, wise, wonderful women. We were taking pictures outside just a few minutes ago. Dare I tell the rest of the story, ladies? If you were walking into this area, into the venue just a few minutes ago, and you saw these women who have changed our community in so many ways, and you heard the word sex said over and over again, and they're laughing because did anyone hear that? If you were wondering why, it was because Natalie Dupree informed us that that is the best way to get a wonderful smile. Because as she told us, when you say sex, you end up in a smile. I'm not sure, there was a lot more to the story, but, and it is only 12 o'clock in the afternoon, so again, they are making our community better. One of the other wonderful things we are doing today, of course, is celebrating Women's History Month. We are celebrating International Women's Month, and we are celebrating 47 amazing years of Trident literacy. Trident literacy, helping adults improve skills and qualify for jobs and higher education and making their families stronger and better. 47 years of reversing the cycle of illiteracy and poverty, one person at a time. Now, we've already heard a little bit about the birth of Trident literacy. I'll tell you a little bit more. Believe it or not, it started literally in a shoebox under a bed. The founder, the beautiful, outstanding, amazing Pat Gibson, organized volunteer tutors and students and kept track of them on index cards that she kept under her bed, clearly before the smartphone. Fast forward 47 years. Today, Trident Literacy serves nearly 1,000 students annually in the Tri-County area with locations in Moncks Corner, Goose Creek, North Charleston, downtown Charleston, and also the Sheriff Al Cannon Detention Center, as well as several locations in partnership with other agencies. And on top of that, Trident Literacy is one of the best performing adult education programs in our state. Of 56 such programs statewide, they are among the two, Trident Literacy is, and recently won 5 achievement awards, and you can see the awards displayed here on another dress, similar to the dress I'm wearing. For the second year in a row, Trident Literacy has been awarded and recognized for helping families grow, helping adults do better. Today, as I said earlier, we are focusing on Trident Literacy, and we are also focusing on the strength of women. And you might be wondering why. Well, look at the person next to you, probably is a woman, but also it is because of our connection to Trident Literacy. So I asked the question, who was your first teacher? Now, you might immediately think of your kindergarten or preschool or first grade teacher, but for most of us, our first teacher was Mom. Here's an interesting fact. The National Institutes of Health funded a study a few years back in which researchers determined that a mother's reading skill is the greatest determinant of her children's future academic success, outweighing other factors such as neighborhood and family income. So today, I share an African proverb with you. If you educate a man, you educate an individual or a person. If you educate a woman, you educate a family. Brothers, dads, sons, uncles, we love you. We are so glad you're with us today. And your role is no doubt important in literacy. But did you know that 2/3 of the world's non-literate adults are women? That includes not just developing countries or countries where women weren't allowed to go to school. It also includes our country. Women and girls around the world with low literacy face many challenges, are at risk for major issues including poverty, sex trafficking, infectious diseases, incarceration, gender inequality, violence, and child labor. Of the 36 million adults in the United States who have low literacy skills, 65% of them are women. So we want to raise awareness as to how literacy can empower women to find their voice, to be strong, to be educated. Adult literacy and women's literacy, in particular, is directly related to children's literacy. In fact, it is the root of it. When women become better readers, they increase their income. When they increase their income, they use their new earnings to improve their education, their health and nutrition, and that of their families. With mother reading to child, and when women become better readers and improve their education, they become better able to read to their children and help them with schoolwork. And they therefore are able to set an example. They teach their children that education is important. It is not only important, education is imperative. This is how Trident Literacy is reversing the cycle of illiteracy and poverty. Just think of the difference it would make if all mothers were able to read to their children and help them develop school readiness skills. Children would start school ready to learn, would not fall behind their peers, would be able to read at grade level, and would not be on the trajectory to drop out of school, as their parents did. More than 50% of Trident literacy students are women, women who want to change the trajectory of their lives and their children's lives. And today, we celebrate Trident literacy. It's my pleasure to introduce two of Trident Literacy's students. They are to be celebrated, Jessica Allen and Giovanni St. Just. These amazing women are two examples of what's happening at Trident Literacy.
Hi everybody, I'm Giovanni St. Just. I ended up getting my GED last year, August 7th. I've been through a lot. Me and my family was like homeless for like 2 years. Had to drop out of high school and everything, but I ended up making that success of getting my GED. I met Miss Tawana that's back there. She helped me so much from the JAG. I met Miss Liz Franchini, and I met Miss Diane. They helped me so much. They told me never to give up. That's one thing they did tell me. Oh gosh, I'm nervous. Lord, have mercy. I completed my GED in 4 months, which I thought I would never been able to do. Man, gosh, I want to fight home. I did this for my mom and my 2 little brothers. Not only for me, I did it for them to show them that no matter what happens in life, you can always succeed. Oh gosh. That's it.
Hi, my name is Jessica Allen. I decided I needed to change something different in my life. I couldn't do. Okay. Should I start over? Okay. Hi, my name is Jessica Allen. I decided I needed to change something different in my life. I couldn't deal with the hostile conditions at home anymore. I was ready to get my GED. That's when I decided to attend Trident Literacy Association. When I first started at Trident Literacy Association, I was not very confident about getting my GED. I was not getting any support at home. I am now enrolled into Project Hope, which is a great opportunity in the medical field. I had a lot of changes and decisions that I had to make in my life to get where I'm at now from then. I've come a long way from now to then. My first goal is to get my GED, then do Project Hope, next attend Trident Technical College to do my first 2 years, and then attend Clemson University to do my last 2 years. And then my experience with the JAG program with Miss Tawana and Miss Gina have been very helpful. I've learned a lot about my life and myself. I realized that I'm capable of a lot more than I thought I was. Miss Tawana and Miss Gina are very bright, hardworking women who love their jobs and will help you any way they can. These ladies are here for you when you need to talk to them.
Thank you so much, Jessica and Giovanni. Let's hear it for them. I think for most people, one of the most terrifying things probably we went around the room is speaking in front of people, and that takes a lot of bravery, what you just did. We're so proud of you. This is the beginning. Every day is the beginning, if you allow it to be. And Jessica and Giovanni, again, we are so proud of you, and we look forward to keeping up with you and what you do in your lives and encouraging others to do the same. They both mentioned an instructor. I'm not sure, I don't remember the names. The instructors who you both mentioned, are they both here with you? One is here, if she would stand? Yes. Keep doing what you're doing. You are doing something right. Before we recognize our honorees, I'd like to bring your attention to Metro Electric. Metro Electric donated all of the beautiful awards we are giving today, and here is the award that each honoree will receive. So thank you, Metro Electric. If you look through your program booklet, you will see a full bio of each person who's being honored today. So I ask that you take some time in your leisure and enjoy reading more about them. Of course, these are women who have all done so many things in their lives. If we were to detail everything today, I think we would be here until Saturday. So I will read just a few things about them, a few highlights of their lives as I see them, because they might say something else otherwise. Again, this is a funny group, so. Dr. Janet Robinson Alterman is a trailblazer and a peacemaker. She made her first mark in this community in television news, but instead of just talking about the world, she wanted to help change it. She wanted to make the world better. She joined the Peace Corps and worked in more than 40 countries. In 2001, she accepted the position as executive director of the Center for Women. 10 years later, she helped develop the South Carolina Women's Business Center. She was awarded an honorary doctorate of humane letters from the College of Charleston in 2008. If a lifetime of work is worth 1,000 pictures, her sweetheart, Jack Alterman, noted photographer, has captured it. Janet Alterman, who always makes me smile because she always asks me about my daughter by name. My friend, Janet Alterman.
Thank you. Pat Gibson, you done good. Okay, I'm sorry Bob Ellis closed because we would get you many more shoeboxes. Okay, I want to recognize the goddesses with whom I'm being honored, Dot, and Natalie, and Deb, and Brenda, and Giovanna. I want to thank Eileen Chepanik, who is absolutely dedicated and passionate to this particular organization. I'd also like to tell you a very quick story about where you are. You are at Charlestown Landing. But many years ago, this was Old Town Plantation, and it was owned by the Waring family, and Ferdy Waring literally farmed here to make a living. Her daughter, Nancy Stevenson, who lived here for many years, was the first woman elected statewide in South Carolina when she was elected lieutenant governor in 1978. So this is for Nancy. This is also for Giovanni and Jessica. Don't ever give up. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do it, because if you think you can, you will. I just want to add that all of you can get involved in supporting literacy and particularly supporting women in South Carolina. Women and girls here don't have it as good as we think they do. And there are a lot of organizations out there like WREN, the Women's Rights and Empowerment Network, and others that can allow you to be active in terms of helping people in the state of South Carolina. So I thank you very much. Thank you, Jack. He is a brave man. He married a feminist, and he supported me every step of the way. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
Forgot to give her a phone. All right, I'm going to take a swing at talking about Brenda Carter. The math professor and athletics administrator came to Charleston with her husband Harry, who was the provost at the Citadel Military Academy. Brenda's move to Charleston allowed her an opportunity to work on her game outside of the classroom, talking about her tennis game. She advanced from state and regional age group tournament play to competing at the national and international levels, and she won. She won a lot. In fact, she has 6 world individual titles. Yeah. Brenda has been inducted into the Georgia Southern Athletics Hall of Fame. She encourages children of all ages from 7 to 70 to get in the game, to stay in the game of life. Brenda and Harry are parents of 2 adult children and 3 granddaughters. It is my pleasure to award Brenda Carter.
That was sweet.
Thank you so much to Trident Literacy Association for this very surprising recognition. It's a thrill to be in this class of distinguished honorees. Congratulations to you all. We all likely agree that literacy can provide solutions to many of the problems of the world faces today. Thank you, Pat Gibson, for founding this impressive association. And thank you to TLA for all of your efforts in adult literacy. You set lofty, attainable goals for your students and the association. I applaud you, and you're making a huge difference. Just one quick true story from my past that relates somewhat to illiteracy. Paula was a 7th grade mathematically challenged student of mine in 1968. Her group had an exercise from the textbook to do during class. The instructions: read each scenario and decide if you would add, subtract, multiply, or divide to determine your answer. Here's the scenario. Mary wanted to buy an item, but she did not have enough money. How much money does Mary need? Paula raised her hand, and she told me she did not understand. I explained the directions again. I said, your answer will not be a number. Should you add, subtract, multiply, or divide to determine the answer to a situation like this? She looked down and read it again, but I still don't understand. And then I said, if you go to a store and you see something you want to buy that costs $5 and you have $3, how much money do you need? She answers, $2. Great, Paula. How'd you get that? She looked at me and seriously said, I asked someone for it and they gave it to me. We can say she should have known to answer with the word subtract, or it can be that I should have phrased my question differently. Obviously, she would have been much more comfortable with some numbers thrown in there. The point is, it's hard to define illiteracy, and there certainly are varying levels. I want to thank my family and friends that have come today on my behalf. Except for my husband and our daughter, I've come to know most of you through tennis or church. You come from all walks of life. However, each one of you is a gift giver, a giver from the heart, serving me and others in so many ways. I'm a beneficiary, but I see you always putting others in front of yourself. You're a mentor, you serve on boards, you teach Sunday school, you volunteer at hospitals or free medical clinics, you support programs for underserved children and adults, you nurse, you teach, you work with Special Olympics, you serve with love and integrity. Even though I had not met today's honorees until today, but by their bios, it's obviously you all are gift givers as well. We're thankful for the gift giving that TLA provides, teaching tools for life. It's my belief that all of us are put on this earth to love, share, and to glorify our Maker in all we do. We're blessed in so many ways, and those blessings are multiplied when they are used to bless others. Thank you very much.
Dr. Giovanna De Luca. I'm sure I did not give it the punch it needed, but Dr. De Luca is Associate Professor of Italian at the College of Charleston. She's an author who's currently working on cinematic representations of the mafia. So we may get some good stuff up here. Dr. De Luca is the founder and artistic director of the annual Nuovo Cinema Italiano Film Festival. Dr. De Luca, congratulations.
Like the mafia thing, yeah? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, everybody here, and congratulations to the Trident Literary Association for your good work, and congratulations to my fellow honorees, strong women leaders, who make our community better in so many ways. Let me tell you a story. I have a friend from Brazil. I've known Flavia for a couple of years. For the first many months, we struggled to communicate. I did not speak Portuguese. She did not speak Italian or English. Nevertheless, we became friends. I admired her for her determination, kindness, and courage. And I think she liked me because she knew that I was, like her, a foreigner in America, or as I prefer to phrase it, a woman of the world. One day, seemingly overnight, we could communicate better in a common language, English. She says she had been studying for a while and now felt confident enough to put together some sentences in this foreign tongue. Impressed, I asked if she knew about the Trident Literacy Association, suggesting she check it out. Soon I received a text, one of the few texts. That's where she was learning English, she wrote. Another text followed. Congratulations to you for your honorable merit for your work. So now to me, Flavia is more than a friend. She's also a symbol of success and sacrifice, a symbol of female resolve, a symbol of a better future, one that embraces differences, yet recognizes what we have in common. For literacy means more than language fluency. It necessarily includes an understanding of other cultures and experiences. To gain such insight is to enlarge one's view of the world and of oneself. This is why I started Nuovo Cinema Italiano Film Festival, so that members of our community might reach beyond the familiar and become literary in the circumstances of others. We screen a variety of movies that shed light on the many aspects of Italian society, politics, and culture, and all are encouraged to join the fun. Too often, a language barrier preempts an impulse to forge connections with people from different places. Trident Literacy Association is working to break down that barrier. And I'm striving to open the door to a new world. Thank you, fellow honorees, for all that you do. Thank for Trident Literacy Association for your good work. And thank you all for your support. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. DeLuca. All right, it's time to find out what's cooking with Natalie Dupree. She has written so many cookbooks, she can now just give them away. Before you could sit down today, she gave you a book. The books on the table are from her personal collection. Thank you, Ms. Dupree. You name a magazine, she's been in it. A TV network, she's been on it. PBS, Food Network, Learning Channel, Good Morning America, Today Show, and all in between. The winner of 4 James Beard Awards. She has been chef of 3 restaurants, but if you ask her what is among her greatest achievements, she will tell you. Founder and co-president of 2 chapters of Les Dames d'Escoffier, by whom she was awarded the international honor of Grand Dame. Ms. Natalie says it is so special to her because it is an honor from women who've excelled in the food industry. It is impressive that her 2 cookbooks are on the 2017 Southern Living 100 Best Cookbooks of All Time. But I think it is also pretty special that she is adored by Jack Bass, a man who simply loves a good peanut butter and banana sandwich. Miss Natalie Dupree.
Actually, when Carolyn came in, she kind of pushed me out of the way so she could go talk to my husband. So they've done many shows together, most of them on civil rights, but a lot of them on politics. I wanted to tell you a little bit about my mother. My mother was 5 years old when her father was killed in front of her eyes by a hired man on the family farm. Her mother struggled by herself, lost everything, including the farm, and then the Depression came. My mother had to quit school, I don't know, early, and never got her high school diploma. She always mourned that. She was very well spoken, and we read 2 newspapers a day in my house, always. And she always insisted that we read them. That was really her education and ours in many ways. And then when she was 80 years old, she decided to go back and get her GED. And we were living in Georgia. Governor Zell Miller gave it to her. And I think that was one of the happiest days of her life. People want to be educated, and people want to read, and my mother always knew the importance of it. It really is the way that women progress in particular, but men too. And so I'm grateful for this, and I thank you all for coming, particularly my husband and my friend Harriet Rigney McDougall, who gave me my award for the Southern Southern writers, or the South Carolina writers, and I was the first cookbook writer to be in it. She'll have to tell you the name because I just blanked out. I have a hard time with nouns. Anyway, thank you very much for coming and for supporting this wonderful organization.
All right, I was trying to find it here. Oh, I can't find it. We're a pair of readers when you need them. That's okay. It's clearly in your bio, Miss Natalie, the award you were referencing. It's at the end, okay. It's a noun. Dot Scott. She has sometimes felt as if there were a target on her back. But I like to say it's because she is always on point, hence her nickname, Dot. Dorothy Scott is serving her 16th year as president of the Charleston branch of the NAACP. She is a Riley Diversity Institute Fellow who's received many awards and recognitions, as you will see in your booklet. She received the first National Association for the Advancement of Colored People's Rupert Richardson Branch President Award. She is a mother and grandmother of two who not only covers a lot of real estate through her work with the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, but also through her company, Pecan Real Estate. It's my pleasure to introduce my good friend, Dot Scott.
Good afternoon. I want to first say thank you to the Trident Literacy Association for the honor. And when I got the message, I did not know who the other honorees were. And when I saw the name of all of these ladies, it's like, how did I get in there? So I am really honored today to be among the honorees. When I listen to the literacy thing, there's certain things just stand out, and I'm glad somebody was able to mention their mom before I did, because I'm listening to the student and the tears, and I think about my mom. And I'll tell you a story about my mom. My mom lost her mom when she was 14 years old. My mom had a third grade education. We lived out in Hugie. Anybody know where that is? The big town? And she talked all the time about the fact that I don't have any education. She had everything else, though. So by the time I was ready for school, I could read, count, and yes, I could talk even then, a lot. So I never did first grade. I just got skipped to the second grade. And so, until my mom died a couple of years ago, she was still saying the same thing, because I don't have any education. And when when Carol, and they were talking, giving the information about when the mother has an education, the difference. I guess I'm the exception to the rule because I've had 4 sisters and 4 brothers, and we've got high school and like nieces and nephews, to have them with college degree, postgraduate degrees, and my daughter, if anybody's on Facebook, she's been bragging now, she finally got her master's degree at age 49. So we know the value of education. So I recognize what Trident Literacy does. I had the opportunity to recently tour the new facilities and was so highly impressed. So today I'm just grateful that that I'm being recognized. I am honored, as I said, to see all these other ladies that I walked in here, and so many people I know, and I think so many people who've helped me out doing what I do. So in closing, I just want to say thanks you to everybody that's here that supports the Trident Literacy. Thank you.
Well, I apologize, and I take full responsibility for this, but Dr. Williamson's full bio is not included in the program. But it is because it is so thick that we simply could not afford to have all of those pages. It would look more like the Iliad and the Odyssey if we were to include every single thing. So she is a most affable gal and is willing to tell you all about her life, but I will just tell you a few quick notes. Dr. Deborah Williamson is an Emeritus Associate Professor of Nursing at the Medical University of South Carolina. Her career path took her through the Midwest, but we are so happy that we've had her here in South Carolina at the Medical University of South Carolina. During her tenure, the MUSC Nurse Midwifery Program was ranked #1 by U.S. News & World Report. She served as Associate Dean for Practice at MUSC. She spearheaded many programs. One project of note, the Teen Health Leadership Program, which received 10 years of funding from the National Library of Science. And since this event celebrates literacy, I will share about the Abrazos program, which she helped create. The initiative promotes healthy lifestyles through health information, social support, and linking Hispanic community members to local resources. For her work in this community, she's been recognized for excellence in teaching, education, family and community wellness, as well as diversity. It is my pleasure to introduce Dr. Deborah Williamson.
So, well, hello. You know it's too good to be true when you get nominated for this kind of award with these kinds of people, and I suppose that's why my bio was left out. But no, I think I felt the same as everyone else at this table. It's really amazing to be honored as part of this group with such an amazing group of women. And I want to just make a comment that as I was listening to people talk and thinking about, well, what has happened and what are the pieces that have made me do the things that I've done in my career? And I kind of looked around and I thought, wow, there are a lot of people here who have contributed to my success all along the way. And that's what Trident Literacy does. It contributes to people's success. People come with that inherent ability to be successful, but lacking some of the resources. And so I see Trident Literacy as being that hand that helps lift up and let people develop their capacity. But I'm also the only healthcare provider on this group, so I want to give you a healthcare fact, because if you're in healthcare, you got to give a healthcare fact, and I think it's really relevant. And that's that when we look at our data, we know that populations from low literacy have a 1.5 to 3 times higher rate of poor health outcomes. So that means that if you're in a low literacy population, you're more likely to have decreased quality of life at some point, probably or possibly to die a premature death, to have more individual cost as well as to have more costs for our society. So in healthcare, we always have lofty goals. We want to improve the quality of care. We want to improve access to care. But unless we really take a stop and address the core issue, which is literacy, we're going to be chasing those goals for a long time. And I think all of us in this room are committed to improving literacy. But I think we also have to think about it. It's not just improving the educational system for our children, but it's improving adult literacy. Because as has been pointed out by Carolyn, that mothers are the first teachers. If we don't increase literacy levels among women, that we are going to be stuck, and we are going to create the burden of poor literacy or low literacy for our next generation. Thank you. Thank you, Trident Literacy.
Just for the record, this group is going out for happy hour right after the luncheon, just so you know that this party continues. This is where the student is supposed to say something to the teachers. And because all of you sitting at this table and being honored today are teachers to me, I've learned something from each of you. I've learned from you personally, and I've certainly learned from you being together today. And what I've observed is that to do your best work, you have to be your very best self. At a comfortable distance, and sometimes up personally, I've watched as each of you have continually sought ways to enrich, enhance, and empower your lives, and hence empowering our community. Our world is better because of you. You realize that the power to succeed comes from within. Whatever your mind believes, will manifest in the outside world. Being your best self is a state of continual improvement. And despite the years of wisdom that you have all achieved, you all still strive every day to do better. As we learn and grow, our best continues to get better. Life is a journey of experiences that become life lessons. We continually learn, therefore we continually have the opportunity for our best to get even better. And I see that in each of you, and it is a blessing to witness it. Thank you all for allowing me to share this page of your life's book, and thank you all for allowing me to be a part of this beautiful occasion. It's my pleasure now to introduce Rachel Knight, Trident Literacy's Director of Philanthropy, who will now announce the silent auction winners.
Thank you, Carolyn. So I'm just going to read last names. So if you hear your name, keep you guessing on what you won until you go to the back, and we'll check you out and we'll give you your prize before you leave. So if your last name is Hanshaw, Reed, Simmons, Hartsock, Howard, Schuler, Chepnick, Hutchison, Hefka, Carter, Lynn, Farina, Gibson, Schnazel, did I get that right? Driggers, Green, Smith, Milt, Hyde, and Henson. So if I said your name, please come see me along with 3 of our other staff members in the back room there to get your prize. Eileen?
Before we conclude, I want to thank everyone for coming.
I'm Eileen Chepnick. I'm the director of this wonderful organization, Trident Literacy. But a little spoiler alert, Carolyn, we gave 6 awards today to outstanding women, but if you didn't happen to look at the model award here, there's one for you too, a Founders Award. So. And please enjoy the desserts, and thank you for coming.